How much of that criticism of Coach Bobo and whatever Georgia was or wasn't offensively, how much of that do you think was fair?
Well, I think there's enough criticism to go around. I think a lot of it is fair because that's how we operate. You know, when things don't go right offensively, when there's inconsistency, even when there's dropped passes, Coach Bobo isn't out there trying to catch passes. He's not the one dropping passes, but it all comes back on the coaching staff because it's where's the disconnect? What are you not teaching well? What are we not doing in practice to improve these sorts of things? So when you see the same problems over and over again, then many times it falls back on the coaching staff. Look, somebody brought up a good point earlier about offensive coordinators that coach for defensive coaches and how many times they are, and I'm not saying this is the case, but as I look at this situation, including my experience playing in the NFL and playing for some defensive coaches versus offensive coaches, a lot of times the offenses that play under defensive coaches are minimized. You know, they're constrained in a bit. And so I do think, look, there's a lot to go around. I think some of that was Carson Beck last year. Look, let's be honest. When it comes to the Sugar Bowl, we're going out there. Georgia's going out there with a quarterback that hadn't really played. He hadn't game planned before. So there was a lot to be desired there. I think we know moving forward what it's going to be. And I also think that, look, if the head coach has confidence in him, it doesn't mean that nobody can critique. But it means that he must see something in Coach Bobo that he wants to win. He wants to win too.